This is Rikos Way, episode 19, How to Start a Business, part 2. Welcome back. I hope you had a chance to watch How Rico Did It series. It was 5 videos. If not, after this video, please take the time and go on back and watch them. Also, you can listen to them on Rico's Way podcasts. On my Instagram, Rico's Way, I had posed a question for my followers to ask me anything about business. And majority of the questions were about how to start a business. So I'm going to do my best to go through these questions and answer them to the best of my ability. So without any more delay, let's jump into this Rico's Way Q&A video edition. So the first question that we're going to go into that I received was, how would someone go about building equity to invest in a startup? Go where the honey is. If you're looking for hard cash investments, you won't find it in your everyday environment or sitting at your local cafe. And there are many ways to go about this, but let's cover 2, private or publicly. Let's talk about public first. You can do what's more common now is to crowdfund. You should also have business cards with just a website or to scan code so people can go straight to the information and see your demos, all the information, all the media that you have created. So when you're doing this crowdfund effort, you may not reach your goal. And we've seen this. I'm sure you guys have seen examples. But still, you probably saw the crowdfund campaign, so it still created awareness. And they did get some money. Maybe they didn't reach their goal. So if that happens to you and you do not reach your goal, don't give up. Make advancements in your product with the investment that you made. Remember, everybody who invests on you is a mini investor or a large investor. Show how resourceful you can be with just a small investment that you received. Even though it's only 25% of your goal, you want to come back and say, hey, we didn't reach our goal when we did a campaign, say 3 months or 5 months ago, but look at the improvements that we have made. We got more creative, we became more resourceful, and then again, redo the campaign. And the second time around, you'll have a better chance. So with this type of approach, you just have to keep improving, keep your social activity up to date, keep people aware that you're alive, that you're still making improvements. So it is a huge awareness type of thing if you're going to be going through the social and public route. Now let's talk about the private approach. The source is the same whether you do it online or in person of where the money is coming from. Let's use the TV show The Shark Tank, for example. I'm sure you've all seen it. These are deep pockets that you can pitch to. Or a more appropriate term is investors. But they are not only on a TV show. Where are affluent and established investors? Where do they eat, shop, play, live? You need to know this. But don't approach it as a hunter or a starving dog. You must be able to slide under the radar. Become a regular. Then you strike and fish for a bite. Anyone likes a good investment. But be ready with what you are willing to offer in return for their investment. Percentage, stock, ownership, property rights, patents, intellectual property. Remember, you are selling a part of your idea in return for money. It will feel like you're selling yourself. This is your baby, your chance to make it. It's important how you go about doing this, how you're offering yourself. Do it with care, or if you're careless, you can attract the wrong crowd. Whenever I'm at a high-end cocktail party, I can spot out the one hunting for our pockets and the other one who just bought me drinks, who I'm not really sure about yet, but I'm curious and willing to let the conversation go on. That's the groove you want to be in. You have to be in the loop, be in the club, pay your dues, and hang out with us. For how long? That's unique for every situation. But this is how the money stays within. We don't let it come out. You have to come to us. But once you arrive to this conversation, hand out your card. That will take them straight to your website or your social page. Do your pitch. What's the offer you're making? Be sincere about how much you want this new company to get off the ground, but you need investment help. Tell them why they should invest in you. Be ready to answer their questions. Why, with this great idea or your years of experience, tell them why they should even consider handing over their hard earned money over to you. And don't ask everyone at the party, only the key players. Let the information you've given out needle its way from group to group. Eventually, someone knows someone looking to invest. This is networking. Good luck. Okay, let's get to the next question. The question is, what's the best way to start building a customer base? Well, first, who are the customers? Second, how can you make contact with them? Are they people that frequent certain environments? For example, say it's teenagers. You know, obviously we can use social networks. Um, you know, we can guerrilla market your local boba shop parking lot. We can sponsor events at a popular food hangout for teens. Or, let's say it was a car market, guys, right? And girls are into cars too. I would focus on where they hang out. What do they read? What do they listen to? What do they watch? There's a lot you could do in person, but with some thoughtful advertising, paper, electronic, you could reach your target. But if we are talking about business owners or homeowners, we can easily get that information from a database. All homeowner information, business names, and addresses are public info. And they are already separated into categories for you. It's market research. You know what Google is doing to you every second of the day? It's being stored to be sold. You just need to go out and buy it. So if you wanted to target low, mid to high income families, you could. Or if you wanted to target all the restaurants within 50 miles, you could do that. Everything's available. The key is to make a good impression, good service, and the word will spread. There's nothing like word of mouth to create your customer base. Personally, when I started to create my customer base, I used tens of thousands of mailers. Now, I attend conventions, I have a booth, I attend dinners, I do cocktail hour mixers, I do CEO retreats just for the industries that I'm focused on targeting. I personally believe that person to person is the best way to gain a customer. Okay, now for the next question. I think this one is will resonate with everybody, especially if you're coming from Instagram and you're into cars like me. The question is this: what are your thoughts on spending money on something that won't make you money? Have a lot of money so this little adventure won't hurt you. Don't play in the deep end of the pool unless you can swim. You guys have heard these sayings, right? It's okay to burn cash, in my opinion. Rikos says this. If burning cash is giving you pleasure, a source of relaxation, if it is, then it's worth it. For my example, my car builds keep me happy and relaxed. It takes my mind off work. It gives me therapy. So yes, burning cash on cars, for me, it's worth it. I can operate better. A focused businessman is an efficient businessman. I do what I need to keep me standing straight. I need to keep going forward. And And for me, having the yearn to do it again pushes me to go harder so I can burn some more. As long as this burn rate is like 5 to 10% of the whole picture, you know, you're not gonna drown. But be mature about it. Know when to cut it off and when you can start again. Okay, now a question more related to my field. This question is how to start my own HVAC company. What are the basics in the trade world? So this person wants to start a heating and cooling company in the trade. First off, you need 4 years of experience in the state of California to get your contractor's license. You must first fill out the application with the California State License Board. To help pass the exam, I recommend paying for an exam prep school, but all you need mainly is your experience in the trade that you want to do. And you must document what you know to prove you are ready. So when you're documenting your 4 years of work experience. Now, I'll let you in on this secret is that those 4 years doesn't have to be 100% of you hands-on on the job. You can use your college degree or even your apprenticeship school as credit towards those 4 years. So for example, you could be 2 years on the job, but you got your 4-year degree, and that could also count as 2 years. Each situation is case by case. You fill out your application, put all your work experience, and then submit it. They'll give you a case number. You can monitor your application online on the website, and you can even call in. And if you do not fill out something correctly, it will get denied, sent back to you, and it'll let you know what corrections or recommendations. And you can even call in and say, what did I do wrong? So they're there to help you. It's not like the DMV. Okay, so you passed the test. Now what? Now you're going to go to your local county, not to the city. You're going to go to your local county office building, and you're going to apply to record your DBA, your company name, whatever you want to call yourself. Then you're going to take that document to your bank. And then with that document, you can open a bank account. What's the next step? Before we do anything, if you work alone, you don't need workers' comp. But once you hire an employee, you will need it. What else do we need? We need insurance. We can't be doing business. We can't be driving on people's property without insurance. Your regular personal insurance is not going to work. We need commercial insurance to cover the work that we do. And also we need commercial auto insurance to cover the trucks that we use to drive onto the customer's property. All right. Then we need business cards. So we need to create a logo, get some shirts made, and voila, you're in business. But to get to this point, we need those 4 years. So if you're just starting out of high school, or not even high school, say you're 25, 30 years old and you're moving into the trade, these 4 years coming, try to pick a trade that you like and try to learn as much as you can. In other words, you have this game plan ahead that one day you want to become a business owner and have your own shop, your own trade. You need to learn as much as you can in these 4 years. You need to learn anything technical, any training that's offered, take it. And also, more importantly, is that since we're doing this new cool trade, this new high-paying job, if it wasn't a high-paying job, you wouldn't be interested in creating your own business in it. Let's save this high-paying salary. Let's save those checks. Why do we need to save that money? Well, when we open up our business, we need that new truck. We need insurance. We need uniforms. We need to pay for the exam. We need to pay for the school. But the other thing that you're probably not considering is the startup time. the amount of time that it's going to take for your new business to take off. You still need to eat. You just still need to pay rent, pay your mortgage. That downtime, if you in the How Rico Did It series, you see in the last business that I run right now, it was about 3 months of just nothing. Those 3 months, I had to have money to cover everything for that time. So you got to think about that too. So you got to have that rainy day money to get this new business off the ground. And that's how you get into the trade business. Okay, this is an interesting one. How do you set pricing for a service besides consumables, equipment, and maintenance? Once again, let's use an example. How about a hamburger? A $15 restaurant hamburger. It's got a few slices of tomatoes, a few pieces of lettuce, some onions, 2 pieces of bread, a squirt of ketchup and mustard, and of course, most important, the beef. The amount of cost in that burger could be around $3 to $5, with the potential gain of $10. That $10 won't pay for the whole operation, but from research, they know they will sell hundreds in a day, maybe 1,000. And that's not all they sell. So by knowing what's expected, the daily amount, the weekly and monthly sales is how they know to charge $10 over their costs. It's something that people will buy and they can make money also. It's a business, not a charity. So it's the same for any business service. How often will we have a sale? And at what quantity? You will always have a chance to pack in a markup. They marked up the 2 slices of tomato. Why can't you mark up the nuts and bolts? Why can't you mark up the material used on the job? The customer didn't provide it. The customer didn't provide the tomato. The tomato didn't roll from the farm to the cooking line all by itself. So for the convenience you are providing, there is a cost. There's a cost with anything that you're supplying the customer. You must research your industry for what the going rate is. Is it by the hour? By contract? Is it open-ended? Progress payments? Once you learn that everyone is selling $15 hamburgers, you can then start building a price sheet. Figure out your costs. Be realistic on how you want to price yourself as a new business. And maybe you will start selling your burgers for $9.50 and get everyone talking about you. And after a few years, you will establish yourself and work your way to $15. I want to tell you a tad more of reality. As I am in the commercial service industry, let me ask you this question. What is the value of your time and the value of the downtime of your customer? I can guarantee you the money lost by your customer dwarfs what you're thinking. So charge accordingly. I don't care if it's something that costs $5. If you're the only one that has it for 50 miles and they need it to operate, that's value. Shutting down means what? They lose money. Send everyone home. Turn away customers. Lose production time. Phone calls from corporate. Management stress. Low morale. Products going bad or having to be thrown away. Putting people in hotels. Giving away free rooms. It really starts burning money quick. It will snowball. It's called an emergency. You will get that phone call saying, name your price. That's how you make money and price yourself. Your valuable products or supplies. And to be clear, I'm not talking about retiring off one job, but don't sell yourself short. You are important. Your knowledge, most of all, is what is priceless. And it's your responsibility to have the parts needed to help your customers. Okay, on to the next one. The question is, what is a healthy investment into a brick and mortar service business? Well, I will answer it as it's asked. Brick and mortar means a physical building for your business. And we recently invested $1 million into a business recently, about 3 years ago into the food industry. It was about 500 to buy the lease and another 500 to remodel. So, the building is about 4,000 square feet, has lots of parking. There's a monthly rent, and it did not get lowered for COVID. Business is brutal, no prisoners, no survivors. So when you want to have your own HQ, your own home base, and you want people to be able to drive up to it, you want them to be able to Google it and see it with their own eyes, it's really a real estate question. How much room do you need? What location do you want? These two will dictate the cost per square foot of your building, whether you're going to build it or you're going to lease it. Also, this is important if you are gathering investment for this new adventure. That's why for my other business, I use my personal space for it. Homeownership is more than a place to sleep and live with your family. You can operate out of your home. You can cover both bases. Or you can live in your warehouse unit. I know a lot of young owners who do that on the hush hush side. But that's the reality of new owners. All the money goes to the business. If you can keep the real estate costs down, then you have extra cash to go into equipment and vehicles. How much? How good do you want to look when you pull up to a job site or a meeting? In my opinion, as long as what you're driving is clean and it has no dents, it's a pass. I'm telling you guys, don't blow money on new trucks or new Benz or the newest equipment. Buy what gets the job done. When you are new, this is not the time to blow cash. You need to fund the daily business operations. Okay, next question. Should I network first as a base or release products and let them sell themselves? Well, it depends on what environment. If you are in the Amazon and eBay market and you're selling little items from $2 to $20 or even $50, then yes, you could just drop it like it's hot and let the algorithm and the keywords do the trick. If you see a high traffic in what you're selling and yours is the same product but offers a different color, better shipping, pricing, then yes, the customer without much knowledge about who you are will most likely click add to cart. You're just jumping on the train. You're just jumping on the new trend. But if you are in the market where you're asking a few $100s and into the thousands, you definitely will need a campaign to raise awareness about you and your products. You should go hand in hand with your product. If it's hip, you got to be hip and your campaign. If it's high tech, you need to be high tech. Have all the new gadgets on your arm, all the new phone, and looking sharp. If you're going to go into the luxury market, do you need a suit? Yes. Do you need to spend money on your clothing? Yes. And get a nice car also. You must be as classy as what you're selling. You have to sell me on that we are similar, that we are alike, and that since you use it, I want it also. Okay, last question of the day. This one's a fun one. What car would you get if there was no budget, and how would you mod it? I would, and I do plan to buy an F40 someday. Straight pipe it, and of course, I would paint it gold. It's the benchmark of supercars. It's raw, it's wild. But for one major reason, from what I've seen, I can pull up to any event in the world. I can pull up to any mansion. The gates will open up if they say, hey, an F40 just pulled up. It carries that much prestige. This concludes the first half of the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed hearing my response to your questions. I will be answering the second half in the next video. I really do appreciate you responding and making this video possible. I want to honor each question, so that is the reason why I need to continue in a second video. There are good questions and each deserves attention. Once again, you can listen to my video on my podcast as well as follow me on Instagram at Rikos Way. Please comment down below. I do read each response and reply. Subscribe. I wish you well. Peace.